there have been many reactions to Connor Bedard's up and down game versus the Washington Capitals. So we're going to be touching on that, as well as the upcoming road trip to the Edmonton Oilers to visit Connor McDavid versus Connor Bedard for the first time in his career. The Blackhawks have made some roster moves ahead of their trip to Edmonton. So we're going to be touching on all of that in this video. Before we get into it, we notice that 83% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. We upload Chicago Blackhawks content just about daily, so if you're looking for the Blackhawks news, you're in the right spot. Make sure to stay a while, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the Blackhawks news. So we're going to start off today with, like I said, Bedard had a pretty up and down game versus the Washington Capitals. A lot of good stuff to come out of it, but a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on as well. We're going to start off with a quote here, a headline from, I believe, the Chicago Sun. This is a quote here. You can see below the headline. A quote from Connor Murphy says, "As a teammate, it gives you confidence to jump into holes and lanes, knowing a guy like Connor Bedard is going to find you or make the right play." So that's something that is very good about Connor Bedard's game. It's something that is quite incredible, to be honest with you. Mainly this sparks from the assist that he had for Connor Murphy, that backhand right across the offensive zone onto Murphy's stick for the goal. That was just an incredible play. Watching that was mind-blowing, to be honest, about how someone could get a pass through, let alone be willing to make the pass, but actually get the pass exactly where it needs to be. So, Nick, what do you think about that before we head into the downs of Connor Bedard's game? Because this, he's been doing this all season. He's just been so talented and so exciting to watch.
I mean, if you watch the highlights, you get as excited about Connor Bedard as anybody, man. Like, I know, like, I'm not a Blackhawks fan. Like, none of us are Blackhawks fans, but, like, holy, man, like, that guy's insane. Like, watching that pass he made across to Connor Murphy, he made Connor Murphy look good on offense. That's what happened yesterday. It's inexplicable how much I'd like to watch Connor Bedard's games, but it's so hard to watch Blackhawks games in Canada. And I mean, I know if you're in Canada, you can barely even watch a Leafs game in Canada because it's always blacked out on the East Coast or whatever. But my God, man, this guy needs to be on national TV, international TV every day.
Yeah, no, the plays he make, it's special. That's the best way to put it, is that you don't see many players at all really doing this. The only players you see this coming from are guys like Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Sidney Crosby. The names that everybody knows. That just shows that Connor Bedard's becoming that level of hockey player at the age he is. That's just unheard of. But there's also some stuff that needs to be worked on from Connor Bedard. Obviously, you cannot take away from his amazing performances so far this season, leading the Blackhawks in points and making plays like that are becoming normal at this point. It's one that I mentioned in the last video, so check that out if you haven't already. He's been taking a lot of ice time per shift. So it starts off here with Luke Richardson saying that Anthony Mantha scored a goal on a Bedard shift where he couldn't get back on the defensive zone because he was out there for 93 seconds. Now, if you know, like the NHL, usually you average a 45-second to a minute shift. That's pretty standard for around the league now. But Connor Bedard's been getting a lot of time on ice and not changing. After that 93-second shift where Anthony Mantha scored, he had a 2-minute and 26-second shift. You can see there in the second paragraph. And he averaged just 1 second below the leader, Seth Jones. And Luke Richardson, like he said, he mentioned to the media and to Connor Bedard that the shifts need to be tamed down. They need to be lowered in time, but he also mentioned that Connor Bedard is just so focused on the game. He's hyper-focused on what needs to be done, trying to learn and trying to get into the right position, that he just loses track of time. So it's not a negative thing, but it's something that does need to be worked on for defensive opportunities. Like we've seen, his time on ice, on average, when they're winning, goes down to put the veterans on the team out on the ice to defend a lead. That's just standard around the league, no matter who you are, really. But it's just a learning point, a learning curve that Connor Bedard even mentioned himself, which is another very good thing that he actually acknowledges that he needs to lower the shift time. But, it's something that needs to be worked on, definitely, because you can't be out there for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's longer than some people may see the ice for. It's a bit of an overstatement, but it is. It's a very long time, so that needs to be toned down a bit, but he's working on it. And like I said, it's pretty good that he can acknowledge that he needs to fix it. So, Nick, what do you think about the 2-minute and 30-second shift time? Or I'll say the extensive shift time for Connor Bedard. It's obviously a big issue, but he's taking advantage of it when he can.
Well, I mean, it's good that he wants to be the one out on the ice. He's got the confidence to be that guy that wants to be out on the ice all the time. But at the same time, you got to have a little bit more of awareness to it's more of a team game, not just a me game. You know what I mean? Like he's obviously it's good that he has that confidence, but no matter who you are or how high your hockey IQ is, you're going to be learning things throughout your entire career that you might not even learn until the end of your career or after your prime or during your prime. You know what I mean? Like, Alex Ovechkin didn't learn, like, for example, didn't learn how to play defense until Barry Trotz came along, and that was over a decade into his career. And Alex Ovechkin, as soon as he started learning how to play defense and learned that it wasn't just him on the team, he got it. They got a Stanley Cup out of it. So when you learn things like this, say like Connor Bedard is learning this in his rookie year, that he can't be the one that's always out on the ice. He needs to play as a team and learn to trust his teammates. And obviously the trust will go up when he starts getting more high quality teammates, I suppose. But not saying that the teammates aren't great as they are. Like, I'm sure they're great guys, but the talent in that locker room is not exactly there yet. We all know that. But I'm assuming Connor Bedard is going to learn this at a young age like he is right now, and it'll only get better as time goes along.
Yeah, and Luke Richardson's the right coach to do it. You know, he's there to work with the young guys. He's been able to do that. He's had a leadership on every team he's coached of veterans, rookies, and a mix of everything in between. So he acknowledges that Bedard, obviously, he wants to do good. He wants to help the team out. And, you know, he's just hyper-focused on trying to fix stuff. And it's a good thing that Luke Richardson's there. He's able to, you know, not be rude to him or anything in that sense, but just let him know, you gotta tone down the shifts, they're a bit too long, but you're doing the right thing, you know, in that sense of the imagination. So, it's pretty much, you know, Bedard's something gotta work on, but I fully expect him to be able to, you know, adapt this over the next few weeks, months, this season, like he has for the rest of what he's done in the NHL so far. We have another topic here, though, the final one of this video. Before we move on to the Edmonton road trip, the Blackhawks have made some roster moves. First one being someone going on waivers, and that is Boris Kachuk. He's healthy scratch, you know, for the 4 recent homestand games. His last game was on December 3rd in a 4-1 loss to Minnesota. Hasn't really had the success this season, hasn't had the consistency in games or points to be able to, you know, make the roster. So at the point where he's been being scratched for the past few games, there's really no point in him being just sitting in the press box watching the game. Send him down, get some ice time, be able to get back to his normal form in the AHL with Rockford, assuming he clears, is the right move absolutely here. So Nick, what do you think about this? Obviously, it's something that Blackhawks really had to do. There was no option. They didn't want him to sit in the press box and just watch the game. So what do you think about it?
Well, we've talked about this over the season, like the course of the Blackhawks season so far. It's just the team in general is going to have a lot of moves. Like, you're not going to see the same roster go out there really almost any night. There's going to be a lot of people going up and down throughout the season, not only just because of the skill of the Blackhawks team itself. It's not a team that you like. Not all these guys are regular NHL players, right? Like, some of them hope to be, like some of them will be. And some of them are veterans and all that stuff, but you'll also have injuries and stuff too. Like, like Tenorti is coming back as well and like all that stuff. So you're going to have guys that are shifting around. You're going to have guys that are up for most of the season. You're going to have guys that are down for most of the season, but it's never going to be the same roster. And I think that's what you're seeing here now is just giving another guy a chance to play over maybe Boris Kachuk.
You're absolutely right. Couldn't say it better myself. It's like you said exactly. We're going to be moving up and down a lot of the season. A lot of players getting an opportunity as well. The other one here, Jerry Tenorti back on the injury reserve, actually with a concussion. He's probably his 5th time on the injury reserve this year. And the Blackhawks are recalling Philip Bruce. So probably means, which is a very unfortunate situation for the Blackhawks here, that Kevin Korchinski is not traveling with the team to Edmonton. He's on the non-roster due to a family matter. So once again, like we said in the last video, hopefully that is all fine. Hopefully everything is good for Korchinski. Very unfortunate he's not traveling with the team. In my opinion, I'm willing to argue with anybody that he is the best defenseman on this team, even as a rookie. Even above Seth Jones. Seth Jones has been bad. He's been really bad. So hopefully we can see Kevin Korchinski back. You know, these roster moves, some things that are going to help this team on this road trip without the subtraction of, I guess, of Kevin Korchinski it's a huge loss. So they're doing the best they can to make this roster viable for the upcoming road trip. So that's all we got for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to give the video a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Like I said, we post near daily Blackhawks content, so if you're looking for a spot for all your Blackhawks news, make sure to stay a while. Sub to the channel. But that's all we got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.